going on, everybody? Dogman Dan here. We are going to talk about Void 2.0 changes. I needed to let this be the last big thing I really kind of talk about. Marketplace, I'm not even going to get into. Because I needed to play around with this a little bit to understand it all. And kind of before I just came out and was like, I didn't know what the hell was going on. I need to understand a little bit of what was going on. So, going to see some of the stuff here in the background. Comments, questions, of course, and I will answer them as best as I can, whether it's in, just comments back to you or in follow-up videos. So, Void 2.0. A lot of things changed here. The Void, as we know it, it's still there, but it's just like regular missions for the most part, and for the majority of it, it's really just going to farm for Argon Crystal. However, the Void Fissures, or the Fissures themselves, can show up in the Void. So you can still run missions, Void missions that have a fissure in it, and you can still get a prime part through the Void Fissure, which we'll explain here in a second. But for the most part, Voids are not as they used to be. Okay, the Fissure stuff, picking up prime parts, is all over the map now. Okay, which you'll be looking at first on my screen will be the different levels of the Fissures and the different relics that you can have, so forth and so on, to run missions. So, Fissures, a dynamic occurrence throughout the Origin system. They can pretty much occur anywhere. Relics are what you need to react to the Void Fissure to reveal treasures within, to get your prime parts basically. Void Traces are raw energy drops in the process of uniting relics and fissures. They can be used to refine relics, and we'll show that more towards the end, where it basically changes the odds of your winnings. It's still fully RNG based, but you can change the odds of your winnings based off of how many Void Traces you put in. Reactant are drops in the missions that are used in the Void Fissure sealing process. You have 3 minutes to seal the Void Fissure in order to successfully acquire an item. If you do not succeed in sealing the Void Fissure, your mission will actually fail. Refinement process, we'll just take a quick look at the end there, like I said in this video. Your tower keys are converted. When consoles get it, you guys will get it converted, but your tower keys have been converted, basically tower 1, 2, 3, and 4, into the Lilith era, Meso era, Neo era, and Axie era. 1, 2, 3, 4 respectively, obviously 4 being the highest, harder enemies to deal with. Well, can't really say harder enemies to deal with, just higher level enemies to deal with, because now every run will include, if it's a Void run or a Corpus run, it will include your good old nullifiers, and these nullies will drop everywhere. Just randomly drop shit. They'll just drop right on top of you randomly. Out of nowhere, you'll get a nullifier drop right on top. You also get bombards and napalms everywhere in the missions too, so it can get annoying pretty quick. The Void Relic segment, obviously that was on the junction. I posted that video a couple days ago. You need that in order to get to the refining process that we'll do at the end of this video here, just so you can see it. There's good and bad to this. So, yeah, the good is these can drop from picking up your relics are required basically through running endless missions, excavations, interceptions, defense, survival. They come in as rewards throughout the process. So they're fairly easy to pick up. Higher levels you go, higher level relics that you pick up. Okay. Dragon keys have to be crafted through this Void Traces system. Their blueprints have been moved to the Oregon lab for Dragon keys, but you still have to craft everything to get Dragon keys through this new tracing system. So when you're in a mission, you can average anywhere from 10 to 12 Void Traces picked up during your run, from what I've had happen so far. So it takes approximately 10 missions in order to get the maximum Radiant, or the maximum Void Traces for the Radiant refinement. which is 100 void traces. If you accumulate anything over 100 void traces, they actually take it away from you. So your max top out is 100 void traces, then you have to refine it, and then you can start all over again. So you're doing a lot of farming. You can guarantee a part as long as you're successful. You can guarantee a better part as long as you run enough of them and whatnot. However, you have to use 10 relics just to be able to get enough traces in order to refine for a radiant and get you probably closer to a 40% chance to get that top part that's inside of the relic. RNG still plays its favoritisms here, so don't hold on to the fact that you may or may not get it. You can also choose, if you're running with teammates, you can also choose a teammate's reward. If they get a reward that's better than what you get, you can actually choose the same reward that they got at the end of your mission. So that's kind of cool. But you're doing a lot more grinding, and you're using a lot more of these relics in order to make it happen and to get your RNG to a level where you can potentially get your parts faster. So good and bad, I don't know. I'm not really in favor of this right now, honestly, because now if I really want that higher level part, I've got to run so many more extra missions in order to be able to refine one relic and hope in that one relic that I get the part that I want, because if I don't, I've got to go back on 10 more missions, waste 10 more relics in order to get enough void traces to be able to refine one single relic again and do the whole freaking process over. And this is going to get annoying really quickly. Higher level enemies, of course, is going to get annoying real quickly. You know what I'm saying? You can see the grindy grind is super grindy grind now. And as new parts and gear come through, it's just going to make it that much more difficult to get the new stuff in a grindy, free way. Extremely grindy. So, you know, this whole investment thing is really starting to show its rearing heads. Just saying. A year since this has happened, a little over a year since they did this, and now it's really starting to show as these updates come through. You know, poor drops in the update, RNG becoming a bit worse, more about money than you know, whatever. But so that's it. Now syndicates now have void key packs that are turned into relic packs. Your void key packs on the markets and daily tributes have been changed to relic packs. Barrow tier sale prices will be changed around to accommodate this Ducat acquisition stuff, and access to derelicts is still going to remain the same. So that's basically what's rolling along here in this update. So it's alright, but could be very much better and a lot less grindy. And for newer players that don't have enough gear, it's going to be that much more harder to do. And you're pretty much going to be limiting yourselves to this particular runs too as to what you can run, because now you've got to deal with nullifiers and napalms and bombards at all times. So you've got to keep that into mind. It's going to be a lot harder to run a bow, a lot harder to run a shotgun when you've got nullifiers dropping everywhere, and we all know that that shit is useless against their damn bubble. So you got to get into there and shoot them. But when you have 3 or 4 drop on you at one time and they're all crowded on top of each other, about the only weapon that's going to work is a straight up rifle. I'll catch you guys in future episodes. Thanks for tuning in.